And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Chase Race number 3, our final race of the Challenger round, moving into the Contender round next week, as we are live here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Now, for those of you that did not see the Facebook post, I know we had our Trucks and Mobile One Cup Series races at Darlington. That was because I accidentally switched the race weekends of Darlington and Homestead. It was actually supposed to be Homestead first, and then Darlington. And due to the fact that the Darlington race is actually scheduled as the first race of the Contender round, and Homestead is the final round of the Challenger segment, we actually are still having our Snickers Cup Series race from Homestead-Miami. So next weekend, we'll have the Trucks and Mobile from Homestead, and we'll have Snickers from Darlington. It's a little confusing. I made a error there on my part, but we'll just try and get through these 2 race weekends, and then we'll get right back on track the following week at, I believe it's Lime Rock. So, tonight we're getting ready for the Ford EcoBoost 400, and this is going to be a huge race for a number of drivers who are in contention to fall out of the championship hunt this early on. There are going to be 4 drivers that are going to be eliminated tonight from competing for the championship. And right now, the 4 drivers that are currently in those 4 positions right now, which would be 13th through 16th in points, are James Qualls, 3-time winner Trent Dunham, Cole Daly, and Nathan Hudson. However, there are a number of drivers that are very close to possibly falling into one of those 4 elimination spots, including Jessica Shelton and Dylan Young, who are 6th and 7th in points, Levi McIntyre, Makoto Iguchi, Sean Galligan, Joshua Michaels, and Dylan Poteet. All are in jeopardy of possibly falling into one of those spots here tonight as well. We'll see who the 4 are going to be. They're going to be the first ones eliminated heading into the Contender round. We got chasers on the front row, though. Michael Norman, still looking for his 2nd win of the season. Won earlier on at Auto Club, which was right near the beginning of the season. Hasn't been to victory lane since. But he'll line up alongside of one of those drivers that is right now currently in an elimination spot, but could move out. Got a good qualifying result tonight, starting on the outside of the front row. That's rookie James Qualls. Then you got Zach Buchanan and James McLeod lining up in 3rd and 4th. Both of them still looking for their first Snickers Cup Series win of the season. And then you got Audi with Tanner Sullivan and Toyota with Kyle Corbett making up row 3. Then another couple of chasers in row 4. Jessica Shelton on the inside of row 4 in 7th, and Makoto Iguchi on the outside row 4 in 8th. Both those drivers still in contention to fall out of the chase. They'll look for good runs here tonight, both starting inside the top 10. Let's get these cars rolling off, though. It's going to be 41 laps of racing here this evening, and it's sure to be a wild one, no doubt about that. Danny Wells, 2-time winner, actually back-to-back wins at Daytona and last week at Chicagoland, looking for his 3rd straight victory. We'll keep an eye on the Mountain Dew Code Red Chevrolet during the course of the evening, see if he can maybe be able to make some NNSCRA history here. He and Trent Dunham, the only 2 drivers this season to win back-to-back races. Trent Dunham did it earlier on this season. Danny Wells has done it in the past 2 weeks. So it's going to be an interesting one here tonight, because one mistake for the drivers 6th through 16th in points could very easily end their championship hopes. We'll have 12 drivers competing for the championship next week at our first race, the Contender round at Darlington. Question is, though, who is it going to be? Who's going to be the 4 drivers eliminated? We'll find out at the end of this race when the checkered flag waves. Another interesting thing, too, since the chase has started, no chaser has won a race yet, automatically advancing them into the next round. Danny Wells, non-chaser, has won both of our chase races so far. Will we have another non-chaser win tonight, or will a chaser be able to move their way into the Contender round with a victory? Green flag is out. We're underway here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Michael Norman going to drive it hard into turn 1. He'll take the lead. Zach Buchanan moves into 2nd. James Qualls trying to find a little bit of space to be able to get down to that inside line, as he's currently being freight trained, now losing 3rd place to Tanner Sullivan. Here comes Zach Buchanan. He's going to go for the lead right away. Zach Buchanan joined the RGE BMW racing team back at Kansas. Had a great run there in his debut race as well. Finished, I believe, inside the top 10. And and he now is leading this race. He's a former Snickers Cup Series driver, too. He drove the 14 car back in, I believe it was Season 3. It was Season 3 or 4. It was a very early season, I remember that. As Michael Norman was able to get in front of Tanner Sullivan, he'll at least keep the second position. His teammate Jessica Shelton in a bit of a precarious situation right now. 3 wide, well, was 3 wide with Tanner Sullivan and Charles Jackson. And here comes Jacob Lawler, the defending champion, coming up the inside line. He wants to get to the front early. There he is, working behind James Qualls, who has now finally been able to find his way to the inside line. Close quarter racing here. Speeds reaching over 200 miles an hour down that straightaway, 205 heading into turn number 3. They don't call this a speedway for nothing. As right now, the front 4, I believe, are single file. Well, Jacob Lawler now going underneath of James Qualls for 4th place, and now Charles Jackson looking for 2nd place underneath of his good buddy Michael Norman. So this would put 2 non-chasers in the top 2, and then chasers in 3rd, 4th, and 5th with Norman, Qualls, and Lawler. Where is Danny Wells at? Let's see about the quest for 3 in a row. Currently in the 33rd position right now is Danny. There's quite a few chasers actually mired back here too, including the points leader, John Cittadino. He's back here with Levi McIntyre and Sean Galligan. Joshua Michaels also back here. Now Michaels was one of those drivers that with a poor run tonight would end up falling into one of those elimination spots. He's only a total of 7 points ahead of James Qualls, 13th in the current chase standings. Maybe he's just riding at the back waiting for something to happen. Maybe so that way he can pick up some easy positions. Because remember the last couple of weeks, especially last week at Chicagoland, he had a really tough break, ended up retiring very early, and it took him out of possible contention. He's trying to bounce back here tonight, here at Homestead, as, man, they're racing even hard back here. Dougie Shears got way up out of the groove after Noah Hart and Brandon Gonzalez put him in a 3-wide situation. How about a couple other drivers in the danger zone? How about 3-time winner this season, Trent Dunham? Right now in the 24th position is Trent. About to catch up to Cole Daly here. That's another driver that's in one of those elimination spots coming into this race. Trent going to move by him. That would be, I believe, for the 23rd position. Just up ahead is Dylan Poteet in the 31. Poteet is only 6 points ahead of an elimination spot. And Trent Dunham going to make the pass on him for the, I believe that would be for inside the top 20 now. Trent moving forward, Dylan Poteet falling back though. As we'll move back up here to the front, some battling for the lead going on here. That's Charles Jackson taking the top position away from Zach Buchanan. So that's our 3rd different race win, or not race winner, race leader here tonight. Pole sitter Michael Norman led about a couple turns, then Zach Buchanan took over the top spot, and now Charles Jackson out in front. We're at race number 23 of the season, and I know they only came in with a 2-car team, but Toyota has yet to go to victory lane yet this season. And Toyota not going to be representing here in the chase. Neither Corbett nor Jackson made the chase. And I was looking through an interesting stat. The Snickers Cup Series Championship has been won by only 2 manufacturers in the past 7 seasons, and that's Toyota and Chevrolet. Toyota with Dougie Shears in Season 1, Charles Jackson in Season 6, and Jacob Lawler in Season 7 as Zach Buchanan goes back to the inside. And then Chevrolet for the remaining seasons. Season 2 was Chambers, Season 3 was Trent Whitney, Season 4 was Sean Henley, Season 5 was John Cittadino. So Chevrolet and Toyota are the only 2 manufacturers to have won a championship, and right now we got a couple of contending manufacturers up here that maybe could break that streak. Chevy Camaro would still, of course, still go under Chevrolet, but you got Mitsubishi Lancer with Joshua Collard in the chase. You've got Ford with Makoto Iguchi, Dylan Young. You got BMW with Sean Galligan and Joshua Michaels. And are there pit stops going on? Charles Jackson just went to the apron. He's coming to pit road. And this is one track that has a very treacherous pit road because the drivers have to, with going 200 miles an hour, they have to go down to the apron and try and slam on the brakes, and a lot of drivers have difficulty with that. Their car slides back up into traffic, so we'll be keeping our eyes on that as pit stops taking place here. Starting on lap 12, Charles Jackson and Chris Washer are the first two coming, and here comes Zach Buchanan and others. Oh man, they're almost 4 wide coming to pit road here. Whoa, man. Careful, careful. Tanner Sullivan just got into Jacob Lawler. Megan Atkins was set up the racetrack. That might be a caution flag. That could very well be a caution flag. Megan's going to get it back here. She'll make it to pit road. Lawler, I think, was able to continue. Is that a caution, though? If that's a caution, these drivers are pitting. No, there is no caution for that. I'm actually quite surprised because Megan Atkins' car shot back up the racetrack and Lawler got spun by Tanner Sullivan, but they did not throw a yellow. We are still green. I would have very well thought it would be a caution. There you see Tanner Sullivan finally getting into his pit stall. I have a feeling maybe that contact between Tanner Sullivan and Lawler may have held up some drivers. Buchanan completes his service, returns to the racetrack. We're going to watch for the 54 of Charles Jackson. Here he is coming out of turn 1. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch Zach. I think Zach still will cycle around as the leader. Charles Jackson trying to close in. Well, here he comes. He got a run there into 3, and we may have a battle for the lead here in just a moment. There you see, yeah, there's some dust kicked up there. I'm pretty certain that Tanner Sullivan and Jacob Lawler may have spun. And if that's the case, Lawler, 4th in points, a championship contender. He's going to have to try and regroup back now. It's still early, but it's definitely not what he needed, getting spun out there by a non-chaser. So Charles Jackson is going to cycle back around as the leader as he just got by Zach Buchanan. We'll take a look at an official full field rundown in just a moment here. Not even to the halfway point of this race. Already problems breaking out here, but no cautions. Charles Jackson is the leader. 2nd place is Zach Buchanan now. 3rd place is now James Silverfox, so great pit strategy on the part of the 41. 4th place Bob Jones, and Chris Washer now moves to 5th. As there you see Megan Atkins return to pit road. She must have had an extended stay on the pit lane. I'm pretty sure she got the wall. I'm not certain. She's now 42nd on the track. 6th place under contest, James Qualls underneath of Sean Henley. Move Henley back to 7th. 8th place now Isaac Canepa. Kyle Corbett runs in 9th. And Trent Dunham needed a good run here tonight right now, running in 10th. As there's a look at the pace car. Jessica Shelton is right now in 11th. Michael Norman, the pole sitter, is in 12th. Ralph Mason runs 13th. Dylan Young is 14th. 15th, Zachary Fitzwater. 16th, Charles Sanford. Dylan Poteet, 17th. Jake Rogers, 18th. 19th is Sean Galligan. And John Cedino, the points leader, is now in 20th. Nathan Hudson runs in 21st. He needs to really get going here. He's in the dead last position in points coming into this race. There's Levi McIntyre, 22nd. 23rd, Harrison Langford. 24th, Ian Dutta. Battle for 25th between Danny Wells, Cole Daly, and then Tanner Sullivan is in 27th. 28th place is Kyle Matthews. 29th, William Duncan. 30th place, James McLeod. 31st is Ashley LaPlante. Battle for 32nd. Lawler has it, and he will keep it. Hart back in 33rd. 34th is Dougie Shears. 35th, Joshua Balquist. 36th, Joshua Michaels. 37th place is Cody Lamas with damage on the right side of his Lowe's Chevy Camaro. Joshua Collard way back here in 38th now. Don't know what's happened to him. Same for Anthony McCurry back in 39th. Makoto Iguchi back in 40th position. And Brandon Gonzalez is 41st, not too far ahead of the leader, Charles Jackson. So one car is off the lead lap. That's Megan Atkins. She is 2 laps down right now to the leaders. Everybody's still on track, still running. But that cycle of green flag pit stops definitely spread the field out. Kind of reminds me of our Truck Series race at Darlington a couple of nights ago, where everybody ended up finishing on the lead lap, but Chris Dollerton, who ended up finishing 42nd out of all those drivers, was just a few car lengths ahead of the leader and winner of that race, Matthew Dallio. There was like trucks occupying every spot of that racetrack. And right now I kind of get a feeling of that here at Homestead. Because Brandon Gonzalez, you can see he just crossed the start finish line just a few moments ago. Now the leader's crossing the stripe. I don't know. We may end up having some lap traffic here. I don't know if Brandon Gonzalez is up to speed. It certainly looks like it. As the battle's on for the lead right now. Take a look at this. Non-chasers in the top 5 right now. And Chris Washer going to do it 3 wide into 3. What a move. That's another manufacturer that hasn't gone to victory lane yet. I talked about Toyota. Well, Dodge hasn't been to victory lane yet this season either. Ian Dutta and Chris Washer both yet looking for victory lane for the first time in Season 8. As right now, we got a good 4-way battle for the lead. Bob Jones now making his presence felt up here. Now looking for 3rd place off of Charles Jackson, and then you've got James Silverfox, an Audi representative, up there in that 5th position, waiting for a line to open up. First chaser in this field is 7th place, and that's Sean Henley. Right now, with where people are running, I would say Cittadino, Norman, and Henley definitely are going to be transferring into the contender round. But as far as everybody else, positions have been jostling around so much, I'm not really sure. I thought Jacob Lawler and Joshua Collard had a great shot, but they're both running back. I believe Collard is back somewhere around the mid-30s, Lawler around the mid-20s, so now, question mark on those two. The only saving grace for them is the fact that Nathan Hudson is not running too terribly well right now, and neither is Makoto Iguchi. And Washer's coming to pit road again, so apparently the pit window's somewhere around 12 to 14 laps. Charles Jackson coming in as well. Both those drivers pitted together the last time that the pit stops took place. Now, we didn't have a caution flag, but we had some incidents take place the first time that they made pit stops. Will we see that again? Ralph Mason going to come down with these guys this time, apparently deciding, hey, these guys come down, nothing happens. Might be not such a bad idea to come down with these guys. And here comes Bob Jones, Zach Buchanan. They're coming to pit road. Silverfox is going to stay out. So will Canepa. Backing it down as hard as they can, so that way they can make the pit speed, which is about 50 miles an hour here, I think. Jessica Shelton, Dylan Young, Jake Rogers, Galligan, Cittadino, and Zachary Fitzwater, as well as last timeout's winner Danny Wells and Ian Dutta, all coming to pit road this time. And the lead, I believe, gets cycled over to James Silverfox. Oh, we had a spin! We had a problem! We had a spinner! I don't know who it was, but the caution flag is out! Caution flag is waving, and this is gonna make a huge difference in this race. This is gonna cause a lot of drivers to be caught a lap down because of this. I don't know if they'll cycle around back to the tail end of the lead lap maybe, with these leaders now coming in, but oh boy. That was a very opportune caution for these leaders, I'll tell you that much. But there are some skid marks in the turn 3, turn 4 area. Something happened, and this time it did bring out a yellow. Oh, someone got spun back there. That's Makoto Iguchi. Just spun back there in turn 4. And that car is smoking. Uh-oh. Makoto only came in 12 points ahead. No, actually, that's not correct. Oh, whoa, just got hit by Zach Buchanan. Buchanan, who's been out in the top 5 for most of this race, just hit Makoto Iguchi and now has pancaked the wall. Well, it hasn't taken long for chaos to break out now. All it needed was a trigger switch, and now it's just going full keg. But we're looking at Makoto Iguchi. Engine has completely disintegrated. Black smoke pluming. That's a fatal sign. And Makoto came into this race 18 points ahead. I said 12, but it was 18 points ahead of an eliminator spot. But, uh-oh, this is not good for Makoto Iguchi at all. Caution flag is out. I honestly don't know who the leader is, because this is definitely going to jostle up positions for sure. So instead of, the car, I thought the car just shut off. So instead of looking back and trying to find out who the leader is, we're actually going to look at a replay, and then we'll come back and find out what the scoring monitor tells us. the leader is. But right now, Makoto Iguchi in big trouble. May not advance to the contender round. There's Ralph Mason coming to pit road again, too. Don't know what happened with him. Caution's out, though. Let's find out. What put us under the caution for the first time here tonight? Another car up ahead there with rear end damage. Don't rightly know who that is. Well, I told you guys getting to pit road was going to be treacherous, and here it is. Look right there. Dougie Shears slamming into Joshua Balkowitz, and then Ashley LaPlante slides through the grass and gets up into the 81 of Noah Hart. This all taking place right in front of chaser Jacob Lawler. And there you see the yellow lights on the outer portion of this racetrack. Caution out. And they had to throw a caution for this. I mean, there were drivers that had already pitted that were back up to full speed and everything. That could have been a huge, huge collision if these drivers had come down in front of the leaders or something. But they didn't really get any damage from it. We got to take a look now and see what happened to Makoto Iguchi, because this happened another lap later than the initial caution coming out. Alright, so here's Makoto Iguchi. Had just made her pit stop there under the yellow flag. Was getting back up to full speed to be able to cross the start-finish line, take her position. Sorry for that little bit of lag there. Everybody else coming to pit road, and I don't know who it is she's even going to hit. She's going to run into the back of the lap car of Megan Atkins. Now, Megan, I believe, was actually slowed down in order to pace behind the pace car. Makoto never ever slowed down and just nailed the rear of the 33. I don't rightly understand that, quite honestly. I mean, Makoto Iguchi, I don't know if... Now, apparently Makoto must have had to have gone around Megan Atkins, but if that's the case, why didn't Makoto go to the outside to go around? Just ran the low line and ran to the back of the Starbucks 33. I don't rightly understand that, but that could be a very costly move on the part of Makoto Iguchi. May take Makoto, our Daytona 500 winner, out of contending for the championship here tonight at Homestead. Well, folks, this is how the situation is right now. We still have a total of 39 drivers on the lead lap. The only problem is most of them are going to start right ahead of our current leader, James Silverfox. Ralph Mason, I believe, is still on track. I think he's a lap down. I'm going to look to confirm that real quickly. Yep, there he is. Megan Atkins 2 laps down. Only driver out of the race right now is Makoto Iguchi. But Silverfox is your leader. Second place is Kyle Corbett. Third, Isaac Canepa. Henley 4th. Qualls in 5th. Trent Dunham 6th. Dylan Poteet 7th. 8th place, Charles Sanford. 9th place is going to be Michael Norman. 10th, Levi McIntyre. Nathan Hudson's 11th. 12th, Cole Daly. Then it's going to be Harrison Langford, Kyle Matthews, Tanner Sullivan in the top 15. William Duncan is in 16th. And he's the last car in this line that is on the lead lap. Then you got to go all the way behind the pace car. Bob Jones 17th, Zach Buchanan 18th, Dylan Young 19th, 20th, Chris Washer. So just about everybody's on the lead lap, but with this green flag, if Silverfox passes any of these guys up here, they're going to go a lap down. So these guys up here are hoping, they're praying for a quick caution flag. If they can get one, then they would cycle back around to the tail end of the longest line, as now is a battle for the lead. Corbett's going to use those cars on the tail end of the lead lap to his benefit. He's going to go to the point. And now Corbett's going to be the guy to try and go to work and put some of these drivers a lap down. First car would be Brandon Gonzalez in the 23. Meanwhile, Corbett's got a rear deck lid full of Isaac Canepa and James Qualls. Remember, Qualls comes in 13th in points. Trent Dunham back there comes in 14th in points. They needed good runs to get themselves out of the hole and move on to the contender round. Right now, it looks like they're going to be able to do it, as Brandon Gonzalez is going to go a lap down. Next one in line is Noah Hart, and he'll now go a lap down. Next one, Dougie Shears. Just ahead of Kyle Corbett is Joshua Michaels. That's a championship contender who can ill afford going down a lap. That looks like he's about to, though. Corbett to the inside. He'll put the 04 down a lap. Look at Dylan Poteet coming up the inside line there with Trent Dunham. They're battling right now. That would be for the third position with James Qualls Right now, the top two have a wall of now lap machines between themselves and that battle for the third position. Corbett the leader, Canepa in second. Then a Dougie Shears lap machine, and then now third place is Dylan Poteet. And now Cody Lama's going to go a lap down. Oh boy, Canepa slipped up in that corner. Trying to run down Kyle Corbett. That's not the way to do it. As now Corbett puts both Cody Lamas and now Zach Buchanan a lap down between himself and Isaac Canepa. The lap machine's falling in a good spot for Kyle Corbett. And I actually was looking too. I think we may be good to go the rest of the way on fuel. I don't think these drivers are going to have to pit at all. Man, look here. Chris Washer was up inside the top 5 for most of this race, especially near the midway point. Now he goes a lap down to the leaders. And now another championship contender, and Jessica Shelton is the next one on the hit list for Kyle Corbett. Oh boy. This race, that caution, completely changed the outcome of this race. There's no doubt about that. As Corbett going to jump to the high side here. Oh, is Chris Washer going to be able to open up a hole to the inside? Not quite. Canepa right there, though. Canepa waiting for his opportunity. He's hoping that one of these lap cars might be able to force a hole to the inside of Kyle Corbett so he can go through, but he just got forced to the outside by Brandon Gonzalez. Right now, though, when we hit the stripe, it's a total of 4 more laps to go, and Kyle Corbett's sitting in a good situation. He's probably the only driver right now that does not want to see a caution flag come out. Jessica Shelton has been able to open up some distance between herself and Corbett, so she'll maybe stay on the tail end of the lead lap. Corbett, though, has lapped the machine of Jacob Lawler. Lawler right now in the 31st position, 1 lap down. Isaac Canepa going to try and make a move on Chris Washer. If he can do that, he's just got the Jacob Lawler machine between himself and Kyle Corbett. But time is running out. And look at Lawler. Lawler's starting to close in on Corbett. If Lawler can get to the inside to get back on the tail end of the lead lap, that could help Isaac Canepa. And Danny Wells is coming to pit road. The 4-car of Danny Wells is coming to pit road. I'm not rightly sure why. These drivers were, I believe, good to go on fuel. Something must be amiss on Danny Wells' machine with 2 laps remaining. So the 2-time back-to-back winner in the past 2 weeks will not be going for the trifecta here tonight at Homestead. Ian Dunn is coming to pit road now. Wait a minute, are these drivers going to be running out of fuel in the closing laps? Oh boy, look out! James McLeod's on coming to pit road. Balkowitz is coming to pit road. Charles Jackson's coming to pit road. White flag, 1 more lap to go. Will Canepa run out, or not Canepa, Corbett, will he run out of fuel? Kyle Corbett trying to get his first win of the season for Toyota for that matter. He doesn't indicate coming to pit road. He's going to risk it. Coming through 3 and 4. There's another driver going to pit road. That's Jake Rogers, Bob Jones. But Corbett will not. He'll have enough fuel to get to the end. Checker flag waving. Kyle Corbett wins the Ford EcoBoost 400. His first win of the season. Second win of his career. Wow. This was quite an interesting Homestead race. Not one I was expecting, quite honestly, but it happened. Kyle Corbett, only his second career victory. His only win came in his rookie season last season when he won at Auto Club. Oh, Dylan Young just got spun there in turn 4. I think he crossed straight. Oh, whoa! Galligan just got stuck in the barrier there. He's stuck in the tire barrier. What is going on here? This race is just taking a turn for the crazy. Well, so many questions, but there are quite a few facts, though, that we're able to come away with tonight's race from. So, Kyle Corbett is your winner here tonight. Let's find out where the Chasers finish, because after tonight's race, man, it's going to be so interesting to find out who's going to advance into the Contenders round. Canepa gets second. Dylan Poteet's going to get third. He came in at a rather precarious spot in points. So did James Qualls. They finished third and fourth, and what the? That was weird. Okay. Anyway, still have our finishing results here. So Poteet gets third. Fourth was James Qualls. So I believe those two are going to move on to the contender round. Then you got Michael Norman. He came in only 4 points behind Citadino for the points lead. He's definitely going to move into the next round. Great run for the pole sitter. Nathan Hudson's going to get 7th. Now, let's see. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close for Hudson. That's a great run. He may get in by a couple of points. Trent Dunham, another driver who needed a good run. He gets 8th here tonight. Looking further down here, Levi McIntyre battled back for 14th. Henley back in 15th. Daly in 16th. Jessica Shelton 17th. Citadino 18th. And Dylan Young in 20th. I'll tell you what, they're all so bunched up, so close up here. It's going to be only a couple of points that's going to really determine who's going to move on, who's going to fall out. There's Galligan 21st, Lawler 22nd. And then the rest of the chasers end up finishing with Joshua Collard in 30th. And Joshua Michaels finished in 40th place. That may not be good for him. Makoto Iguchi was the only driver to finish out of the race tonight in 42nd. Folks, I cannot make a prediction on who the top 12 are going to be moving into the next contender round. I have no idea. But we're about to find out, same time that you do. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become a part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finish results from this evening's event. Overall point standings, rookie points, and your chase points moving into our first race of the contender round next week at Darlington. Remember, we have Trucks and Mobile coming here at Homestead. Then we have the Snickers race from Darlington due to the fail I had. Then it all packs up and heads to Lime Rock the following weekend. Be sure to follow the NNSCRA on social media. Facebook and Twitter links are in the description. 12 drivers out of our original 16 move on to the next round next week. Who's it going to be? You'll find out right after this, as you've been watching production on the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. Made very quick work. Whoa, look out! Oh, what a save! Dougie Shears just got turned by the lap machine of Charles Sanford, but now he's got left side damage. But he still opens up his distance. He still keeps a distance between himself and second place McCurry. But all that ground he gained, he just lost right there. But what a save!